56 years ago today marks the death of the 35th President of the United States, John F. Kennedy. This day will be in every school textbook and in every memory of the people who were affected by this assassination. It is a moment in history that no one will forget. John F. Kennedy was born on May 29, 1917, which makes him the second youngest president to be sworn into office at the age of 43. John F. Kennedy was born into a very powerful and wealthy family. Starting with his grandfathers, his maternal grandfather was a skilled politician, a congressman, and the mayor of Boston. His paternal grandfather was a successful banker and a liquor trader. His mother, Rose, was a debutante, and his father, Joseph, was a successful banker, and he also invested in some stocks and became a chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission. As you can see, politics and success runs throughout John F. Kennedy's family. John F. Kennedy was a very intelligent young man. However, he did not apply himself to the best ability he could in school. After graduating high school, he attended Princeton University and then transferred to Harvard. After graduating from Harvard, John F. K. joined the U.S. Navy. After being discharged from the U.S. Navy, Kennedy worked as a newspaper reporter. John F. Kennedy was a people's person. He was for the people. He was young and charming and handsome as well. So that's why politics was his calling. It was easy for him to speak to the people. As you can see in the short clip, John F. K. was handsome and a young man. He was a people's person. He was well with kids. There were a few pictures as well. That included Jackie Kennedy. She was a beautiful young lady as well. Throughout his 8 years in Senate, John F. K. became an author and became the first and only president to win the Pulitzer Peace Prize. 4 years later, he decided to run for presidency. Kennedy's opponent in the election was Richard Nixon, who he then beat and became the 35th President of the United States at the age of 43. As president, his greatest accomplishments were due to foreign affairs. After being a president for only a few years, John F. Kennedy died. On November 22, 1961, the 35th President of the United States was assassinated. As John F. Kennedy rode downtown Dallas in a Lincoln Continental convertible, the president was shot. He was accompanied by his wife Jackie and the Vice President Johnson, who was injured as well. The one bullet hit Kennedy in the neck, and it exited through his throat, and the other hit him in the back of the head. Kennedy was declared dead by the time of 1 p.m. later that afternoon. Here's a short clip of the president driving down in the Lincoln convertible with his wife Jackie and the Vice President Johnson.
Kind of leaning against the window, and Kennedy's car had gone up in front of us and turned, so it was out of sight. It had gone down by the grassy knoll when I heard the sounds, and it was bang, bang, bang.
First thing that Bobby Kennedy asked was the last thing he wanted to hear. He said, "Is it Jack?" And I never forgot that because it showed that was so typical of his courage. Just tell me, I want to know. And of course, a part of him died that day, as a part of everyone in the president's family, and I think everyone associated with that administration.
I covered the funeral for 4 days, unending. Well, everybody covered it between tears and, trying to do your job. I think that everybody was so saddened. The world seemed to stand still.
Mrs. Kennedy came up with the idea, as the world now knows, to have the eternal flame, which was unheard of in our country, the eternal flame at the cemetery. She paid her husband such great homage and such honor.
Wonder of his presidency was how he still managed to create this sense of excitement, this sense of hope, this sense that of confidence that the country could have in itself and should have in itself.
Now, the gunshots came from an upstairs window of the Texas School Book Depository building. The person on the other side of that gun was named Lee Harvey Oswald. Lee Harvey Oswald was a former Marine. Supposedly, he acted alone in the shooting of John F. Kennedy. On this day, all of America was devastated. Kennedy was known as a hero, a great man, and a great president. Here's a short clip showing you the reaction to Kennedy's
This is Edwin
death.
Newman in the NBC newsroom in New York. This information from Dallas. 2 priests who were with President Kennedy say he is dead of bullet wounds. This is the latest information we have from Dallas.
What's your feeling right now?
I really couldn't say. Really, right now I just don't know what to do.
Was there much emotion among the
There
congregation?
was. Really, it was amazing to see the number of men who came into the cathedral sobbing, almost convulsed with sorrow, anguish.
But all we can do now is pray for him, and it's about all we can do. An entire loss to the world. It's hardly believable.
A few days later, Oswald was killed by Jack Ruby, a Dallas club owner, who killed him while he was being transported between jails. Now, there are many theories behind John F. Kennedy's assassination. Some believe the mafia had something to do with it, that John F. K was tied in with the mafia. Some believe that the Cuban government killed him. Others believe it had something to do with Marilyn Monroe because of his supposedly affair with Marilyn Monroe. But these are just conspiracy theories, so no one really knows if these are accurate or not. Other than the conspiracy theories, John F. Kennedy was known as a great president, a hero, and a terrific man.